viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a home of accurate news and current news. For those who subscribe to our channel, God bless you for subscribing. We say thank you to every one of you, and if you're yet to do so, please kindly press the subscription button below. And now the news in details. I am scared about future of Nigeria because we are now more divided than ever, Shettima said. Comrade Shettima, a pro-democracy activist, is the national president of Arewa Youth Consultative Forum. Shettima is worried about the level of insecurity in the northern part of the country and the high illiteracy level and unemployment in the region. In this interview with Patrick Okoye, he also speaks of his concern over the future of the country because he believes that Nigeria is even more divided now than any time in history. There seems to be so much tension in the land, and people are wondering what next, especially with the recent travel of Omoyele Sowore. Now people are wondering how long can the nation continue like this? What is your view of the current situation in the country? Yes, I agree with you. There's so much problem is in the land and nobody will pretend that all is well. And I am worried when I look at the way things are happening on a daily basis in the country. It gives every Nigerian a lot of concerns. Some of us who were in the trenches knew what we suffered. A lot of many comrades suffered many things. I can remember some of them were even shot. I have one of the comrades I remember very well, Mustafa. He lives somewhere in Mushin. He has become disabled now. They had to cut off his leg because of stray bullets from the army at the time of the struggle. Sometimes I get worried because this is not what we envisage. When we made the sacrifice, we did not imagine that we were going to get to this level, where the whole things will be so backward than what we have in other countries. So we get worried. Now it is more obvious that we are more divided than we were in the past. More divided in the sense that this issue of ethnicity is becoming more pronounced than it was in the past. I remember vividly when we were in the struggle, sometimes you will find it so difficult to know where somebody comes from. You don't even care. All you want to hear from him is that we are all family of our Luther and go ahead wholeheartedly. We were students of the struggle because we had cadre of those who were much more senior, like Beko, Enaro, Gani Fawenyi. Those were the people we were working with. I am sure somebody like Gani Fawenyi, wherever he is today, in the grave, Beko and the rest will not be happy because this is not the kind of democracy they fought for. We learned from them and some of them will never be able to step into this shoe. No, we can only do our best. But I am scared the level of insecurity and the way we are more divided is the best described. As a woman who is pregnant but does not go for scan. Of course, yet you do not know what she will bring forth, whether male or female or whether human being or animal, because nothing is impossible. That is why we are now. I get worried towards 2023 election. I get worried. On daily basis, I get worried. I sleep and wake up every late hours and I get scared because we are getting deeper in crisis and I am scared. Looking at Sowere's travel, many people said he got what he desired. He got what he deserved because he supported the coming of this government. Do you share this sentiment? No, I don't share that at all. That he supported this government is not an issue. We are not in Banana Republic. We run a constitutional democracy where people have a right to their own views, provided they don't cross their red lines. Rule of law must be respected. It is one of the cardinal of democracy that he supported Buhari and come against tomorrow and say he is no longer supporting Buhari. There is nothing wrong in that. That is the beauty of life. Human beings are bound to change any day, anytime, so he has not committed any crime that he supported them and contributed to the coming of the government. It does not in any way mean we should let go and say go and face it. It's what you bargained for. That is not right. Yes, in the course of the struggle, some of us did not work for this government because I never did that. But some of them went to the other side and we were perceived to be in the position. I was on one side and he was on the other side, and it happened with many of us. You see that you see that that is one problem that we have had in recent times, that it has become so impossible for the cadres among our colleagues to come together and speak with one voice. In principle, we differ a lot on this issue, especially the election of 2015 and 2019. But this is not to say that somebody will be granted bail under democratic settings and you refuse him that freedom. No, if they have any case against Shuwere, they should bring it forward, but they must respect court order. You spoke about the countries being more divided than ever, and some people have even alluded to the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari has done more in dividing the country than uniting it. Especially when you look at issues of recent appointments, which seems as one-sided, defying federal character. What is your view of that? He said, can you cite an example of such appointment? Recently, we had the issue of the removal of the chairman of both the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Asset Management Company, both positions held by people from the southwest but were replaced by people from the north. Almost all security chiefs are from the north among other positions. Don't you see this has been insensitive to national unity? Inasmuch as I am not a good friend of this government, oftentimes I speak exactly what I feel. I would have expected that if somebody would raise issues, it should be more serious. For example, every state is expected to bring a minister, but when it comes to the turn of Lagos State, for instance, it picks an Hausa Fulani man from Daura. But that didn't happen. At the end of the day, the minister from Lagos is a Yoruba man, the former governor Raji Fashola, and he went to Rivers and picked Rotimi Amici just as it is expected that it should reflect national character. And he has done that with ministers of the 36 states, including Abuja, who are all from the state. Now, you talk about security, you have to know and trust somebody before you can entrust your life into his hands. That was what happened during the Jonathan era, besides the position of NSA that he took from Azazi, which was under certain circumstances, and it was even Azazi himself who brought Dasuki, because I was in the picture and I understood the game that was played. When there was pressure that Azazi must go, he nominated Dasuki and was appointed. And that was the only case I saw of removing your home person and replacing him with Hausa Fulani. In security issue, you must trust somebody before you can entrust such person. I cannot look at the armed robber per one criminal that I don't trust. For example, I am not saying anybody is a criminal and I tell such person to come and protect me or secure my house when I know already you are not clean. It is not possible, so I think the security issue is strategic. The next government that will come may decide what they want. But this is how they feel they can get it done. And don't forget we are in a dire need of security in this country because of the challenges in northern parts of the country. There is no place in the north that is peaceful today. Most of you who reside in Lagos and other parts of the country are living in paradise. In the north, I know what we face on a daily basis. Issues of kidnapping is one big problem, insurgency, robbery. And this is because of the army of unemployment in other parts of the country. Idleness attracts a lot of crimes. Poverty is at the highest in the north. You cannot compare the level of poverty in the north with anywhere in the south. That is why when I say this government is very favorable to the southwest, people don't agree. But that is the truth. Southwest is enjoying under this government. How? You make our home president, then you go behind and use your normal sense and milk the country. Almost everything under this government only favors the Southwest. Strategic positions were picked by the Southwest. They control the economy. Look at the power, works, and housing. I have never seen in my life where one person will take such 3 appointments. Only God knows the magic behind it. Only God knows what was done to Buhari to have taken such decision until recently, because they changed that. For 4 years it was like that. The rail that we are talking about, that today they are saying there is rail in the north. Can you in all honesty compare the rail you have in Lagos to Ibadan? to the one we have in Kaduna to Abuja. The one I entered on 2 occasions, trains of the 70s, is what they brought in the name of modern train. On 2 occasions it broke down and I was a victim, but that cannot happen in the case of Ibadan to Lagos. Just look at the road, look at the rail, and look at the model of the coaches. Look at the Lagos to Ibadan road. We don't have any such in the north. The only one we have that are doing today is the one from Kaduna to Zaria, a distance of less than 30 minutes. Will take you more than 3 hours now because there is no road. Then move to Kano. May God have mercy on you. You will spend 5 to 6 hours instead of less than 2 hours to Kano. If you don't impart in the northern part of the country, outside Abuja, in areas like Kaduna and Kano, where we cannot see anything on ground, then tell me where else you will take it to. Is it Gwoza, Maduguri? You have spoken passionately about unemployment and insecurity in the north at the level of Arewa youth that you are leading. What have you done or doing to address the issue? I have limitation to what I can do. Government does not approve any allocation for me. I don't have personal security that I can use in addressing some of this issue. Government have not approved any security outfit for me. So the only thing I do is to make sure that I conscientize them at any opportunity that I have and tell them the implication of some of these things. That is the major thing I do in the northern part of the country. I stay more in the north now than I stay in the south, and oftentimes I go around various communities to address the youth, encourage them and give them hope. The only thing I can do is to give them hope. I don't have job to give them. At the level of your NGO, which plan of actions have you thought of selling to this government? Now, I have 2 things in mind, and I have often said it. It is out of place for us to fold our arms and allow what I call time bomb going about in northern parts of the country, where you have large concentrations of children that are supposed to be in primary school or secondary school roaming the street, begging in thousands. It gives me rooms to worry because I know this is a problem coming in future in other parts of the country. I get worried when the government cannot initiate processes where they will force the children that I see begging at the age of primary or secondary school that their mates are schools. They are busy begging. In certain part of the country, there is a law of Lagos State. There are hours you don't find children of certain ages roaming about selling things on the street. There are laws. What is so impossible for the northern governor that they cannot initiate the processes where they will make it compulsory that these children must go to school, introduce free education, not this rhetoric real schools? If they say, no, we want these children to go to Almajiri school, integrate Islamic studies in every schools, put it in your curriculum, let them have Islamic studies side by side Western education. It will be more useful and more meaningful. I have drawn the attention of the government at the federal and at the state level. I have cried over it. There is no time I have the opportunity to talk that I don't break the issue of this education into it. And I am always in their midst. And I am also worried about the drug that have infiltrated northern parts of the country, because now we have children who had no idea about drugs. But today, over 80% of our kids with married women and even men are on drugs. All the level of Arewa youth, I expect that you can hire consultants to help draft legislation for state as houses of assembly in the north to help address some of this concern. Are you thinking in that line? Yes, like in the case of drug, we championed it. We did it and have made it a law now in Kano State, and we intend to also go to all state assemblies in other northern states of the country so that it can also be enacted as laws in the various states. We are approaching Borno State any moment from now. We are talking to the speaker over there. It is not a thing you can just wake up and it passes. We will also go to Kaduna and other places too. So Arewa youth have said it all. In short, what is actually saying that is that the Arewa, the northern part of the world, is suffering more than the Yorubas and the Igbos. So guys, do you believe that? What is your whole take? Kindly drop your comment at the comment section below. God bless you.